So did All Seasons give you kind of a temperature, rain, date, time? When's he gonna get up there and take a look?
He just said as soon as he could. He wished there was a lot more snow gone, but he called me this afternoon, meeting up there. He says, you get more issues and there's those shingles that are missing. So he started pointing out where some of them are already starting to slide down. And he says, when you see one ripple, one side's coming down. So he said that those IKEA shingles, he said, they only last 30 years. They're not a 30-year shingle like everybody says.
Yeah, I go.
He says,
supposed to be 50s and have a lifetime. They went through, just like everybody, they went through a period
he
of
said
time.
that's why he's gone away from them. He said schemes don't even stop. He said I could get them so they'll match.
That's all that schemes pretty much used to carry, just
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, just for that reason.
Huh. Oh, I was in there 2 years ago, maybe. Yeah. Middleton's too, maybe.
Yeah. But he said, you know, without being able to get up there, you know, it's very hard to get an exact. He says it looks like, from what he can see, standing in the road and stuff, looking up, says it looks like there's star paper upwards.
Yeah, that's probably all that's under it.
Yeah.
Did anybody collect any shingles?
I picked up one out of the parking lot. It's on the wooden steps that comes to water.
Is that just the one so far?
Well, there's some laying in the
That's all
valley.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
I was wondering if they were hit above where they're supposed to.
You know, God knows where they are. They could be
Yeah,
out in the woods there somewhere.
I was just wondering where the nails went. If
Oh,
they-
he looked at it. He said it wasn't nailed in the right spot. So,
That's what I was,
yeah.
see, if it wasn't nailed in the right spot, then you're not connecting to the other course and you're not locking them in at the tower and stuff, so
Yeah.
it could just be bad installation.
And he said the way the wind comes over the bridge, he says it probably hits the tower and then runs up this way. And he says once it lifts, it's just gonna peel them right up.
Yeah, that's,
But he said, you know, a warm day, because you got to lift up the course above, so you
Right.
get it in a nail. And so every time you bend it up, you chance breaking it, like it was so cold.
yeah.
But, yeah, we can talk about that. And Chris called Primex and they said it happened during a storm. So he said, yeah, it'd be covered, so
Okay. Well, so-
$1,000 deductible.
Well, that's good. That's like I said when I talked to you on the phone, I had somebody I did a roof for, and they laid courses right over an old roof, just, you know. And on one side of the house, they skipped 5 courses. Water all came down in the kitchen, ruined everything. I mean, I don't know how long the roof was up there, so that's what I did there too. I said, call your insurance company. And sure enough, they paid for the whole thing. So, yeah, nice,
All
good.
right. Sorry for being late. We're gonna open up the work session. Okay. I guess we're gonna go over the warrant articles. Who's gonna speak on what?
Yeah, I was thinking that we started Article 8, which is the Town Hall Repair or Rehabilitation Trust Fund, to rename it.
Yep.
So I don't know, I can speak to it unless, Lenny, you want to speak to it, doesn't matter to me.
No, probably won't be much to speak about.
Ye-
You know, it's just kind of moving it anyway, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it just gives it more flexibility by renaming it and expanding its ability to be utilized differently, expands the funds. I'll think it through. Okay. Then we have the other one where we were doing away with the municipal auditing trust, expendable trust fund.
Yeah,
So, I mean, if you want, I can speak to that as well if you like. It doesn't matter to me.
All right.
And
I can do 10.
10 would be John. Okay.
I can do 11.
want to do them all?
I could 11. I can do 12.
Well, what did you want? What's something there you wanna you'd like to speak to or anything, Lenny?
Yeah, I'll do anything. Yeah. I'll do 12.
Okay.
And you say you're doing
And I'll do 13.
okay. And John, you said you're doing did you say 11?
Yeah, 10 and 11.
10, 11. Okay.
I could do 14.
You want 14, okay. I can do 15, I suppose, since I kinda got that ball rolling.
You want to do 16, Mike?
Sure.
Okay.
I can do 17 if you want.
Sure, I'll do 18, I guess, if you want.
I can do 18. Police?
I don't get, you want 18?
Yeah, I'll do 18.
Okay. 19's an easy one.
I can do that one.
I can do 20 if you want, Elm Street.
All right.
Road reconstruction, those next two, so we can all, anybody can have that one, or
Yeah.
I'll do it, or
I don't care.
Lenny, you want anything here?
Probably ought to go together, huh? 21, 22.
Yeah,
I'll
I don't
do
care.
that.
No, it doesn't matter to me.
Doesn't matter, me or John. You want them, John? I'll do them, doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
okay. You want them, Lenny?
Sure.
Okay.
You doing that?
Alright.
That's it. You want to do 23?
Good.
And then the other one's petition, so.
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Who's moving 23?
I suppose that's George, right?
No, 23.
24 would be jury.
I can move that.
Where is 23? Am I missing a page here? Damn it. I'm missing a page. What's 23 and 4?
23 is
23 is budget, operating budget.
Okay.
and 24 is the granite bridge, which
That's jury.
Joey's got to do that one. Or whoever's on the petition.
Okay, so who took budget?
It's what?
The budget, who's moving the budget forward?
I did.
Okay, you go. Well, that was fast.
I mean, Lenny, you sure you want to do 21 too? I mean, I can do it. If you want.
If you want, I can do it, but if you'd rather do it,
Does it really matter? I
Yeah,
mean,
it doesn't, it's enough, yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Okay, I mean, it's not. We can stop with the road just the way it is. I don't think anybody really want to do that. All right, fine. Since we're in a work session, I suppose we probably all heard in some way, shape, or form that there was an application form put into the office. Did you?
No.
yeah, Chris stuck it in my copy. I said, put it in the action folder for tonight.
Okay. 'Cause, I guess somebody applied for the transfer station. We still do have that part-time
Yeah,
opening. Part-time. So, I don't know, let's.
Well, bring it in.
Well, we'll look at, did you
I
look at that?
just looked at the name.
Okay.
That's it. I said, put it in the action folder for tonight.
Because we don't know what, anything, so we'll have to decide that. Bring him in.
No, you
Yeah, bring him
remember,
in.
don't even remember his name now.
I remember the name, but I'll wait until, say it,
Yeah.
but I know where the person lives, I mean, so. Sounded like, from what I know, it sounds like somebody we could, work with, so. Let's see, since we're in the work session, and, the office should have got these, but Claudia's out. HEB did send some information, notification.
I didn't get any.
You got everything?
No, I didn't get any.
Oh, well, it should be in the office, but Claudia's been out, so, I just happen to have the engineering company CC me on everything, so that I know when something comes in. Essentially, this is a blow-up of that, and there's the first 1,000 foot, and the aerial doesn't have as many, at least it didn't look like it was encompassing as many properties. So we got a list too of, that's what those are for each increment.
Mhm.
That's the properties that are involved. So that first grouping there is like 29 properties. Well, I'm not sure how accurate it is, it's based off tax maps, so it's, here or there. Dan is going to follow up with DES on narrowing down just where they want us to go with this. He's talking about just the downhill gradients, but I don't think that that was what we need to do. I think we need everybody in that 1,000. Because if it is bedrock, I don't know, it could probably flow up the hill in a sense because it's underground. I don't know how deep those wells are. But anyway, we're gonna have to go through and find out how many of these properties have wells, or we're gonna have to put mailers out to each and every property and get a response. There's a deadline here. They're looking to get in a couple of dates. So they're looking at Eastern Analytical coming in on the 11th, 12th, 13th, or 15th, between the 9 to 3 p.m., and I think that's gonna be a one day, pick one. So I'm not sure that they would come to town on all those days. I think it might just be one off.
What day was it?
Collecting samples. It's interior sinks. 11, March 11th, 12th, 13th, and 15th. So I guess we need to really find out if that's 4 dates that people can sign up for. That would be greatly helpful if it wasn't just one date.
Hmm.
Um,
Those are all weekdays too, huh?
Yeah, because Tuesday is the 12th, it's election. So the 15th would be Friday and 11th would be Monday.
15th is Friday.
So,
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday.
right. So I have stuff here, you can make copies of, all this correspondence, the most recent stuff. Didn't get you copies of the blow-ups, although the reds won't, yeah, that's why, this is what you print right off the page, you have to doctor it a little to get that. But this is the list of, in the first 1,000 feet, those are the list of properties. So, there's probably some we can eliminate because there's nothing on the property. You can do a check on the tax cards and then send them out.
That, the house next to me there, the old inn, it looks like that well is gonna be right on that 1,000-foot line. Her well was between the house and the church. So that one would be there.
Okay. Well, that's, there again, anything on
It looks
this
like-
list, anything on this list, I think that has a house on it, maybe we ought to, just,
That's her right there, well, it used to be, it's not anymore. but-
so that's what I was just saying to John. I think we include anybody who has a property that has a well on it that's somehow inside this. And then any property that doesn't have anything on it, we determine from the tax card, we just don't send the mailer out to that. So, I mean, there's 29 properties here, you gotta figure at least 9 of them probably aren't built on. But that brings up another issue for town meeting. Once we determine this, if there's, say, 20 properties, it's $350 a test. So that's $7,000 that we haven't budgeted for. So there's another $1,500 for the contract. And then we don't know if they find anything or not. Like if they find something, then that's gonna increase the circle. But I think right out of hand, we're gonna have about 8,500, call it 10 grand because it could be off. And then we're going to have probably another $4,000 or so, because we haven't had the contract brought up for the 5-year, the monitoring that normally takes place before this situation happened. So I forget what we put in for the amount, maybe it was like 3,500.
Yeah, I probably remember it was.
So we might want to bump that up to, say, about $15,000 to cover the well testing and the future water quality monitoring of the facility. Any thoughts, John?
Well, that would have to be 2 separate ones,
What do you mean?
because we're gonna go to contract with HEB, right? For the well, because Pine, what do you call it?
Pine Tree.
Pine Tree is not doing it anymore.
Right.
So that's a 5-year contract, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's separate from the water testing.
Well, I think it's all under the same line item though. I think that line item was like a one-off for the.
The water testing of the wells at the transfer station.
This happened, yeah, this particular test is a one-time, like you're
Yeah.
saying, it's a one-off. But it will be repeated at the transfer station
Yeah,
every year
yeah.
as part of that other. So I don't know if this is,
And this is what my point has been all over. DES says that we have to test all these wells and that. So it went from 5 to 25.
yeah, the area will look like about 5. And that's another thing, I have them looking into the accuracy of this. I asked them if there's if there's a more accurate way of determining it. Because, and I put it in the email, essentially if DES was saying 5 wells would give us the data that they're looking for, expanding to 30 wells, is that a financial burden that's a little more over the top than we need to be doing?
I mean, if DES says you need 5 wells to make an accurate determination,
Well, they said 5 would have been acceptable
Okay.
if that's what we,
yes, I would say, okay, so why do we have to do 25? Why can't we say, let's do 10?
well, they initially said inside the 1,000 feet. And now the big variant here is the 1,000 feet. When you get way out to the end, that's when you're in the touch and go, you're in and out. So a little bit of shrinkage on that. I don't know, that's,
You think 1,000 feet would just be a circle. This one's got some jogs in it, so they must,
they're
what they
doing,
use as a central hub point.
well, that was the other thing. They used 2 different points from, the aerial was like in the center of the landfill. This is from the outer edges of the landfill, I believe. It's in the, it's in the correspondence, and it'll probably be in the action folder, I should hope, but you'll get those emails to read from Dan Bacchetti from HEB, and he explains that because this is a question I had for him. It's essentially just how accurate and how many wells do we really need to be doing? Could you try and get some more information from DES to what they're looking for?
Common Daily Sun today.
Was it part of the story? It wasn't.
Yeah, part of the same story, delegation.
Whoever showed up today in Millwood, they asked.
You think a 1,000 foot would be that big, but,
Yeah, I was surprised it went,
yeah, that's how.
yeah, because the aerial, like I said, I guess they're going maybe
Rest of
from the
1,000
other.
feet, it's almost, the next one's what, 1,250? That would probably put Michael's in.
And then that was the thing, the aerial, however, that didn't have an offset to it, like you were pointing out. See if you can find yourself. There again, tax maps are not the most accurate item, so I was looking for a little bit more, because I mean, if we could do 12 wells versus 25, granted, that's over $4,000. If we need to spend it, we need to spend it, but if we don't, it's,
No, obviously, but I mean, all of a sudden we hear from DES, and now HEB is telling us we have to go outside the scope. Or coming from 5 wells to 25. I don't know where, that's too far of
well,
a
that's,
pitch for me, and I would have to have HEB come in here and explain that to me.
well, they're not doing that. They just did a different way of
Yeah,
determining the distance from the landfill, and on a different thing. Instead of being on an aerial map, they did it on a tax map. And tax maps aren't really accurate, and you can certainly see how it bumped things way over here. And it's like, well, we've got rows of, houses now 3
Right.
deep. And it's like, okay, is that,
yeah, I'd have to have more clarification on that.
and that's what I asked for. And so.
Yeah, because it's just too sketchy right now for me.
And since I was out all yesterday and most of today, I wasn't able to really connect. I shot off some emails as quick as I could,
Yeah,
but he hasn't had time to pursue my logic, I guess.
but I think they should be 2 different articles. One for the contract, one for the sample. Because if we don't have to, if we put 10 grand in, I mean, I suppose we could carry it over, but,
Well, with lapse, there's a operating budget.
yeah, but I'm just saying, to be more transparent, me personally, put 2 separate ones in.
But I don't know that you can. Everything's already done. The budget's put together. It's all in. I think you'd looking to amend a line item. I don't think you can insert it.
No, you have to amend.
So I think we'd have to amend it, sign the contract out of it, and then pursue all this, and whatever money we
Yeah.
hopefully don't spend, it'll lapse.
Because the money we appropriated was just for monitoring.
Yeah, exactly,
Right,
just for
yeah.
the amount, if that's in the contract.
Yeah. And, I mean, if they if we have the wells tested and we find something, then what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna have to supply probably filters for everybody for life, just like they're doing here on Freedom.
What are they doing?
They have, you know where that gas station was? On Freedom, on 153? The one that's been closed down forever?
Brooks's?
I don't know what the name of it is. It's on the right hand, it's going to a
Yeah,
common
the
area.
little store. And,
Yeah, and they found contamination. They gotta maintain the wells in that area. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Hmm.
So, I mean, it's, unless it clears up. I don't know what,
I don't know.
this is a new test. I don't know if they have,
What was it, the MBTE?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, like on
Maybe,
16.
yeah.
Well, I guess when M&B got banged for that, you know, for going across, you know, the leakage in it, but I don't know.
So,
Like I
well,
said.
to stay on the topic here,
Yeah.
I don't think we have any other option, but please check it out, except to add to the line item as it
Yeah,
exists.
I think so.
And then I think we need to pick a number, and we have a lot of variables. We don't know what this is gonna tell us, and we don't know what the contract is going to be for the monitoring anyway. We had budgeted 3,500. I say be prepared in case the price is a little
Well, how
different.
come we can't find that out?
I asked them to get us that information, and they said, let's take care of one thing.
Yeah, but you gotta tell them that, you have to make them understand that we're going to town meeting in 2 weeks, or a week, and say, listen, you know what, I'll call them too, I mean, I don't care. They gotta know the number. I mean,
Well-
that's, to me, that's not, they know the number.
Well, I asked what it was gonna cost for the monitoring, and I kinda got stalled there, as they were trying to put this together.
Well, that's great, but I mean, that's all well and good, but they should give us a number. I mean, it's like going in there blind. You know, what do you charge? Well, even if you put, say, $4,000 in for the monitoring, say it goes up $500, and then all of a sudden, after town meeting, you find out it goes up 2,000.
Well, I think we'll have it
That's my own.
before, yeah, I think we'll have it before town meeting. It just didn't have that. in the
No, that's
moment
fine
when I
before,
asked them a couple
no, that's
days ago.
fine. I just want to be prepared for town meeting.
Because that question, I posed that last week, I think, and I'm gonna say maybe Wednesday or something, because I wanted to have this notification letter hopefully by Friday, so that it would have been here to review, which is going out. And at that point in time, I asked them that question about how much.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, they were like, let us get this squared away.
Yeah.
I said, okay. But yeah, we could definitely do a follow-up question on that for sure. Definitely have to have it. We'd certainly like to have it before town meeting. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to pick a number and you try to go a little
3,500,
higher.
that's what I would say. I would say 3,500.
Well, what happens if you find out it's gonna cost you more?
Well, that's my question. They gotta let me know before town meeting what it's gonna cost. They know what the fee is, they know what's going on. I don't like this, I agree, let's get this done first. But they gotta know. They gotta know what they're gonna charge. That's my point. I mean, I don't go for that. Well, I don't know yet, I'll let you know. No, then we shop around.
Well, we have that, we certainly have that option.
You know, I mean,
So, well, I'll reach out tomorrow.
yeah, I like HEB, they're great people to work with and everything else, but, let's put your thinking cap on and what are you gonna charge? I just can't go into, right now, we have a line for 3,500.
I think so. I can't, that's a number that's ringing a bell. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
without looking it up, and I didn't bring
yeah,
that.
The way I read that, I think they're collecting on those 4 days.
4 days, yeah, that's what I thought, and I just didn't want
Because
to.
Blair said it takes quite a while to get the sample because
It's
they
all,
get hazmat suits
Yeah. So we'll
and
be,
whatnot.
so we'll have to have, and they're contacting, please make sure it's possible for Easton and
yeah.
possible on your
Well, that's-
property, so. Yeah, it kind of leaves it in the court of the property owner to follow up with this.
I mean, I'm sure there's
Well-
things, guidelines that before they take the sample, according to Blair, you can't have perfume or nothing in the house.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, I mean, that
It's like
would,
hazmat.
Read that, that's the notification.
I mean,
letting
how-
them go
how-
out, we gotta make sure we
I
want.
mean, how do you tell a person you have to have your house completely free of anything to make an accurate test? How does that work?
Well, I don't think it's the homeowner, this person collecting the
Right.
sample
Yeah.
has to be.
Right.
I mean, I'm trying to find out what looking up the monitoring, but anyway,
Yeah, so
Oh.
we'll need to approve that tonight to go out, and then we'll have to look at the tax cards and whittle down the list
Yeah.
and get this out as soon as we can.
and we don't even know really what the extent of if there is any damage.
Right.
I mean, all these tests may not prove
And
anything.
that might not prove anything.
Right.
Well, it might prove that.
That's all we
the
can
wells
hope
are.
for.
Yeah, we're hoping it'll prove the well, there's
Yeah.
nothing in the water at this point in time anyway, which would be a relief, I'm sure, to a lot of people. So, that's the need, is to be able to approve this and get this out ASAP, because there's not a lot of time. The 11th is 6 days away, the mailing, I mean, it's a crazy timeframe.
They take good care of all that? The mailing?
I think we may be doing the mailing. Certainly, we're gonna wanna verify our tax cards.
That's fine with me. That was
So-
pretty right to the point.
We'll have to get into that. And I'm out of town tomorrow. Do you have any time to,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yeah. I get nothing. Yeah, I could do it in the morning.
Okay, unless we did it tonight.
What do you gotta do tomorrow?
Well, we gotta verify who's got a structure that may have a well.
Uh-huh.
You know, no need to send them to somebody with raw land, I don't think, right? So,
Potter's is all the raw land.
and there's a couple of towns.
Town of Effingham. They don't have to be noticed.
So, yeah, we'll have to see if we can't do something with that later in the program here. And Tim's in there if you want any of this stuff. It's on, everything, I haven't sent everything to the office before they send it to me. So that's all the new stuff. School.
Yeah. There's a kick in the ass, isn't it?
We're gonna be muting on a bounty.
Yeah, a little crazy. Okay, so what else are we? I don't think we have too much. Other than that, unless you guys got something, you're still digging for that. That won't print out color. So I'll go make a couple of these.
Yeah.
Copies for you
All right,
guys.
you wanna just end the work session, or?
Well, it's 10 minutes out, so you can find your money item. And then we can do whatever.
Have at it.
Hey, Randy.
Hey, how are you?
Good, you?
Yeah, please put some on.
I had to bucket it up there. It was getting pretty narrow.
Yep.
I'm not alone though. Everybody's in the same boat.
Actually, the house is a metal roof and the snow's already covering the front window.
I know.
Mm.
I don't have, you got the town report?
Yeah.
I can't find landfill monitoring on it. I hope we put it in here.
Yeah, I didn't bring any of my budget stuff. So.
Yeah, I don't see it here at all.
Yeah. Well, actually, it's registered like the regular way. I was just gonna do
one, because it's in the operating budget, I'll put it here.
That's a set of the house, this is set, that letter and
Yeah.
the list. I made a couple extra. Yeah, when we get done tonight, actually, Lenny, if we can get in on that tax map stuff, I'll work with you on that. See if we can't get a number. Did you find that?
That's in, he's looking at it.
Yeah, I don't even see it in here.
I hope we put it in there.
I'm sorry, I thought that was the Almays letter that you put in my mailbox, and I was on the phone to someone, so I didn't pick care of it. Thank you for bringing that to my attention.
This is yes, the last two.
I just saw those, it's the
Yeah.
one right there.
Everybody else is up to,
Yeah.
Right by the river there?
That's the killer.
The one that we-
Yeah,
that's the killer
2 years ago.
well, you know,
in my book.
Kids are pushed over something.
the ballots,
The second floor's right there. we couldn't
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
No,
Now it's yours, now it,
what? Oh, no, forget it.
It's even kids in work. It's not gonna be in there.
I'm not sure what to do, but I'll give you whatever.
okay.
You gave him a copy.
4,600, John.
4,600 landfill?
Oh,
Okay,
I see, so
that's
that
fine.
was to them, and that was.
Solid waste cleanup.
Gotcha.
Is that,
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no.
No,
is that the,
All right.
well, it's the only one that,
I don't know.
I hope we
because
have
we
it.
get collection, disposal, cleanup. and
Yeah, no.
Other. So, that's all we got.
Would have been water treatment.
Yeah, but it's under sanitation, so it's just solid.
Are you guys done?
Pretty much. Was that last year or so?
End of the year budget versus actual, so we'll send you.
Okay, whoops, that was mine.
Your discretion.
Okay. It's 4325, solid waste cleanup. So, yeah, we spent 75 landfill monitoring,
Yeah.
Mm.
so we budgeted 46 this
You
year.
said, yeah, you said 75, you meant, 3750. right?
No, that's what we spent, 3752.90 over budget.
Oh, 7, yeah,
We budgeted 3750,
okay.
spent 75. So this year we budgeted 46.
6, because what happened last year is nobody took into account,
What number was
going
that?
into,
4325.
going into 2018, nobody realized that it was the 5-year,
Yeah.
Yeah,
permanent
renewal.
coming up, with the license renewal.
Yeah.
So again, I'm still thinking that we'll get some more numbers, but I don't see us going less than about 15, but that's just
No.
a dot right now.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, boy, she's gonna flip on this one.
Oh, I know.
She is gonna die.
Yeah. I figured when somebody proposed that to me, and I said, the first thing I said is, it's a great idea, she's gonna kill us. So, yeah.
A few $100,000 in there.
What?
A few $100,000 in there. That should be quite a few thousand.
Oh, well, the wording, the idea of having that put in there in the first place is
I know.
what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know, same thing with me.
Basically committed suicide there.
Well, I know, well, you know what? Thank God she's coming tomorrow.
I'm gonna be out of town.
There you go.
Let her cool off.
Yeah, she'll be calling me.
I would. Oh,
She'll be calling me.
I won't be answering.
Neither will I. Especially if I see her name pop up.
So you don't want to talk about
Oh,
this. We'll do that in non-public.
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it might be all set up there.
And then on top of this, on the hill it's all ice. There's no way they'll,
You're number 3 on the morning hit parade.
well, they're not, they said between 1 and 3, so we got time in the morning.
I got places to go, believe it or
Okay,
not.
hey, I understand that too.
By the time Claudia gets in, I want to be like counties away. You open up the cover? Just the front cover?
Front page? Yep. Yep.
Not even you, above you.
I saw that.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna be out.
Well, we can blame it on Chris.
I'm gonna be in like Texas or California by noon time.
We can blame it on Chris.
What do they do now?
Nothing, we're just blaming
We're
it.
just blaming you.
It's nothing to do with reality, justice, fair play.
All right, I'm in.
Beware the bus, Chris, beware the bus. In this case, the runaway freight train known as Claudia.
I didn't think we'd run away, I'll tell you that.
I'm
The only thing running away is me. I don't care about the freight train.
Yep.
That's all I know.
Well, I forgot my list tonight, and all it is about goals and objectives for coming up, so. Ready for the folders?
All right.
Are we at that point?
All right. gonna just continue from the work session right into our selectmen's meeting, so just bear with us.
Oh,
Yeah.
As soon as Lenny gets over there.
she's pretty stealth-like when she wants to be.
Yeah. No
He
kidding.
usually puts them there.
I know, well, that's because she's stealth tonight.
Well, she keeps
You're
moving my
too.
name on some of the paperwork too,
Yeah.
yeah.
That too.
Yeah, that too.
Gotta make sure you're reading.
Paying attention?
Yeah.
come they got you driving that old Tahoe? Don't we have another vehicle?
Yeah, but we still have it, so I can put a few more miles on it.
Taking one for the team, huh?
Okay. I've driven worse in my life.
I actually saw this
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, I did
in
see
real
that.
time.
I did too.
I was a witness. Oh, yeah. It's in the boxes. Station.
Chris, you wanted one of these, and there's 3 copies. How much?
Each one of you get one.
You want one, something, signatured into the,
I believe that was from $10, so you could review the policy. And there's nowhere in there that it says that you get towed. I think that was just, okay?
Oh, sorry.
He didn't talk to you about that?
it's a work in progress.
Oh.
He talked to me about it. Just before today.
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking that we might need to make some amendment to this, and maybe that's because he's bringing it up.
Yeah,
We have more reason.
well, because he talked to the town attorney as well.
Okay.
Yeah, he called me about 2 o'clock, said.
I talked to him the other day.
I couldn't figure out what this, I thought somebody was dropping. Just pull up, just stop in the middle of the road. That's correct.
Oh, we still editing?
Okay, yes.
Oh, yeah. Sorry to hear about John.
You want to write it for me?
Oh, yeah.
I remember when I asked people for pictures of the interior. That could be, what can I do? All of it. Pre-1918, interior photographs.
We'll bring over showing face.
Change that second or third one, shorten this one. Make it very short and that one.
Okay.
Or you could put it on the back as a...
No,
Squish that down.
needs to be like that.
Yeah.
Oh, good point.
That's right. I'll show them. Chariot.
May have to join the fire department.
Huh?
I said, I may have to join the fire department.
I know.
I know, you said
Yeah,
that.
you don't want to do that.
I've only read it like 9 times today,
I know.
so.
Yeah. Thought you were gonna.
Damn, getting sold. This side.
The solar light, but,
This side. Bye, Mom.
okay.
You got 3 people asking you like.
Years
Go for it, then.
See a new truck in
It's
it.
in there already.
You'll see a new truck in it.
Oh. But that's gonna be his?
Yeah, this one right there. There you go.
Nice, I like it. Comes with the chain. I've been putting mine on.
I like the roller.
Great. Chris, contract expired?
You look this way.
Yeah, they just sent it in and
Most
it's
of it
on
because of
Claudia's
me.
desk tomorrow.
Maybe we'll just take out the version. I'll just leave it there. Okay, right, that's funny.
Yeah.
I like that.
I think leave it. I think it's funny.
You too?
Probably right here.
That's really very
Invoice. And the manifest.
Yeah, it's okay, we're gonna pay this amount, but the contract has to be renewed. It's on Claudia's desk.
Well, maybe we won't have to then. That's why I said make sure. Claudia.
Well, those need to be paid, but there's another one. They
Yeah.
charged us at, instead of $1.72 a gallon, they charged us $9.59 a gallon. So I was like, what the heck is this? And then they said, oh, the contract ran out. And I'm saying, you're charging $9.75 a gallon or whatever it was. So that's what started the whole thing, but good thing.
State price, so get on that.
Yeah, we have the new contract ready to be signed.
The one in Fox River? No.
But they're gonna rebuild the other contract, I mean, the other bill,
This is the Williams.
Right.
This is
at
the
a
farm.
lower rate,
Big one.
once they get it signed.
Don't
Big
short.
one, yeah.
I'm on it.
Versus the good buttermilk farm, but I don't know that that's the historic name for it. I
Yeah.
think that's what the Williams called it. But there was another building right here, which was a store.
Right where the gap is, like the granite.
Yeah. And the second floor of that building.
I mean, now you gotta put these bills together with the other stuff, just to try and make
That
sense
building
of
was
it.
moved until 1920.
So the only way you're gonna get to the bottom of this is if it was
Maybe
in
this
this building for
solar
solar.
and the farm is behind.
Get a 23.
But that's not the way the
Percent.
That's not the way the doors
Tax
and
breaks,
windows
whatever the heck
building
it
is set up. I didn't think
That's what the,
Is that when they moved it
the
to?
school sits up
You know where
in
Mountain
front
View
of the.
Station is?
Yeah.
The restaurant, the big white
Well, I'm
building.
telling you, that's the way they put a bank up. You don't even block
There used to be a general store in Center, and checked it out. If you drive up Moltenville Road, the left-hand turn that goes to the police station, all that is, you keep going, there's a big building that used to be yellow before, isn't it? A big building on the right-hand side has a big, what looks like a big sort of house on the front of it, but then a big low part on the back. It's where the Cahalane intended to be. The front part of it, the
Yeah.
housey part,
Yeah.
that
I don't
was
know, maybe all
the
depends
Effingham
what the
County
county highlights.
farm building that used to be on Route
Oh,
also jacked up. basically, whenever we had a building we didn't want and we didn't want, we
Moved it out.
shipped it over to us, and we gave them our leavings.
Oh,
Like I always tell people, I also enjoy going, occasionally going and working.
Are you kidding me?
With Effingham Post Office. Is this the ship?
Yeah.
He's hanging out. Right there in the back. Something for these things. I mean,
What's that one?
there you go. Legal.
Well, this is a special. Hey, special delivery for you. Can you guess what it is?
They want to toss some of that stuff. So I can have some fun.
That's when the fundraisers start.
Oh, yeah, I can just imagine.
Hers is simple and steel and rubber chest.
truck was that, Randy?
Oh, you need three? There, I
Lakes Region?
No name attached.
This phone didn't work.
Never thought.
Thank you. So that's what we try.
You guys get a copy of this? Ordinance?
Yes.
But John,
Yeah, she put one in for
okay.
all of us. The RSA in the back, you get for that too, is that your copy?
Yeah. He talked to me about it today. The water and the ice in the road was back today.
Nice. Wonder what prompted that?
Yeah.
I had a house remodeled, sold. And all the neighbors were selling out right at the same time. The guy across the street for years, and it's a big sale, and he refurbished it, and it went away. And it was for about a buddy of his, then a house came in, and then he refurbished his house, and it's beautiful, so it was just as we also left them.
She'd never quit law school.
No cats. Oh, if I'm there.
I should never quit law school.
Next time.
You done it either?
What a dumb mistake.
Well, those were my first two choices when I was a kid. It was gonna be an oceanographer or a lawyer.
Boy, what a dumb mistake.
Impressive, wasn't it?
I don't know, I didn't follow through on the legal things, because I decided I didn't wanna get eaten by sharks, so that was.
Hit
I
front
had
and center.
seen something like that at that meeting we had over here, but I didn't understand the impact of it.
should, Chris, you should show this to Claudia tomorrow, just so that she knows what's going on. All right. You ready? You guys ready? Yeah. All right. Stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's just get this over. Now listen, I know you all know, I don't know if you've heard, but our photographer, cinematographer, whatever, John, had passed away Thursday. They don't know what reason, and I just want to thank, on behalf of the town, thank him and his thoughts and with his family as well for filming our selectmen's meetings, town meetings, planning board. He's been here every day, and we thank Ed for having him come. And he will be missed. I'm not saying that Ed's not John. Okay, so anyway, just keep their family in their thoughts, and we'll miss him. Okay. All right, I'm gonna make a motion to accept the manifest at $44,209.16.
A second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The mail folder, we had fire department reports, letters by Chief Burbank, Tamworth Recycling sent us a letter, and Road Business Magazine in the mail folder. Signature folder, in that the minutes were the amended lines. Was everybody happy with those amended lines that
Yeah.
we vote? Okay. So I make a motion to approve the minutes of February 26th.
No second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And we also had 3 petitions for poll licenses that we signed. In the action folder, we're gonna look at we're gonna look at an ordinance, the obstruction of Class 5 roads. We'll look at it again. We have an application, we received an application for a transfer station attendant, which we'll have him come in and interview him as well. Okay. Lenny, what do you got?
The town hall, I met with a roofer. I did get hold of.
All Seasons?
All Seasons. He was in Florida.
Oh.
Just got back. But he called me this afternoon and asked me to come meet him there. And he said we pointed out some issues other than just the shingles that have blown off. But as soon as the snow goes a little bit more and it warms up, he can get up there and fix it as soon as the weather permits. So he can't really give us an estimate until he gets up there. So
Yeah.
but it does have to be a little warmer weather because he's got to fold up shingles to get nails in under him so when they replace them. But the parking lot is a mess. They dug into that something awful this past storm. We gotta get somebody over there to fix it because somebody's gonna fall down and get hurt. It is a hole.
Would you dig up the
Dig
on
up
top?
the- Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
It's like an 8-inch lip on it right
Yeah.
now where they dug it. I was over there today.
Yeah, it's terrible.
How about that patch that Bobby put in last year? That's
Yeah, that
still holding
seems
up?
to be holding.
Maybe we could look and,
I don't know if he can get any of
I
that.
don't think you can.
Oh, no?
Stupid stuff. I'm not sure. I can,
Didn't he get that from Evans,
yeah.
I think?
No,
I don't know where he got it.
I got it from, I think we got it from
Carol?
Carol. I think. I can call.
Yeah, we gotta get something in there, 'cause, I mean,
Probably.
yeah, like Chuck says, it's a good age.
I wonder if that stuff comes when the asphalt furnace is going now.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Well, it's recycled, so you must have it ground up somewhere.
Mining's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you ain't grounding 9 up, 5 below 0.
Well, yeah, nobody's doing the road work now,
Yeah.
pull it up, but,
So we up call Cal.
So you're gonna call Bob?
Yeah.
See if we can do it.
you
Okay.
know, one of the things when you're on that roof though, we were discussing it earlier, the shingles may not have been nailed in the right
Correct,
location,
yeah.
which could be a bigger part of the problem here, so that could permeate the whole roof, or, you know, if you had people that were up there that were inexperienced and not nailing in the right locations, or it could be isolated to somebody who's working on that section of
Yeah,
roof.
correct. I mean, but there is some he pointed out, the ones you can see, it's pretty hard to see there. Now you stand out in the road and see something.
Yeah, I went down these,
Yeah, but even on the, just below the tower, you can see where the shingles are falling down, and they're rippling.
so they released.
Yeah.
So, well, that's
But they
why-
are meant to be nailed through that strip, so they pick up both courses.
Right,
Yeah.
so that's the thing, and like I suggested to you, you followed up that Primex Insurances.
Yeah, Chris
have
called
to-
them and they said that they'd file a claim and they'd send somebody, well, to look at it, but they gotta,
They're gonna verify.
yeah, but they gotta have a way to get up there first.
Hey, you've never worked with insurance adjusters before? Yeah, that's,
But,
okay, so,
so that's where that stands.
well, that's a big relief though, because if we're gonna pay, if we end up paying $1,000 deductible versus
Yeah,
the whole roof
Right.
on us, that's pretty significant.
yeah. But he did say he'd probably run a genie lift. I can't imagine anybody that wouldn't, so. Set up staging and ladders, that's a tall roof.
I called a couple guys to look, one guy was booked out 2 months, and the other fellow hadn't heard back from, so I'm glad you were able to get him
Yeah.
to come down.
And he's a local guy too.
Yeah.
He's insured, so.
Yeah.
My son offered to get a lift and come over and do it. Goodness, it was hard, but I told him no, I said that town frowns on volunteers and on town property with machinery, so. So we go this route.
Well, if he was a licensed contractor and all like that, but you don't wanna get yourself in too much of
So, and
Well,
Because
the
I
town
said-
doesn't frown on it, so get, our insurance company
Wow.
says you can't do it. But it's, you know, so
I told him, nice gesture.
Yeah.
but-
tell them thank you very
Yeah,
much.
but, and the ice and water was back in the road today on the townhouse. Went across the road and it's down the edge, frozen down the edge towards that little brown house, towards that attic cat, so. That was probably retaliation.
Well, wouldn't wanna go too far on that.
Yeah, but, I thought the last time it happened, it was just a forgetful thing. But you can see where it come right down the driveway and across the road, down the ditch, and it's all frozen, so.
Well, I think we should, have a non-public with, the chief. Apparently he's had some interaction with,
Yeah, he
our
talked to
attorney.
me about it today, so.
Well, I believe he's talked to our attorney as well on
Yeah,
a few of these.
Yeah, he did.
And some issues our attorney's already looking at, so.
Just wanted to let people aware that there's ice in the road there some days, so be careful.
What is that?
You guys all set for Tuesday?
Yeah, I'll be there.
I'll get out around 2. They said I can get out. And you can, well, you're gonna be there in the morning?
Well,
He's
I
gotta
shouldn't be, I shouldn't be inside because I'm on the ballot.
Oh, okay.
So I'll be there, anyway, I'll be there for the.
Tuesday, I'll see if I can take off. Yeah. Yep. Okay. No problem. What else you got, Mike?
I noticed in the manifest that we signed, Digging Doze is the only contractor that we hold back a week on. Why, I mean, it started out that we wanted to see the work, go check on it, but, I mean, when we get trees down and stuff, and he goes out and does it, I mean, I don't see any reason to have to hold back a week. I mean,
I think we all had a discussion about that.
yeah, but I think we're not, nobody's going out and checking on it, so.
I don't think I remember that taking place, but I don't think I was on the board at the time, and I kind of missed what the logic was in that right at the moment.
You know, we don't, you know, the roadside mowing guy, we didn't hold back from him.
No, because we didn't pay him until he was done.
Yeah.
That's not holding back, that's just waiting for it.
Well,
And
I
I
mean,
think
the
it was
minute he
just-
was done, we didn't go check his work.
And I think the problem was that no one was checking Bob's work, because no one knew what Bob was doing. Bob would go off and just do stuff.
Well, I mean,
And then now, you know, we all agreed, we all voted in the unanimous, that, yeah, we're gonna hold back a week to see
Yeah.
what we're doing, what
Yeah.
he's doing.
I
And
don't-
that's all.
I mean, he does what we tell him to do. And
But, yeah, now we have a handle on it. Before, we didn't have a handle on
so,
it.
you know, I just don't see, you know, holding back a week, really.
Has there been something that prompted this, like is Bob?
No, I just see, you know,
Because I know with the plowing contractor, they get paid at the end of every month
yeah.
after the plowing's done. So that's an example of one thing. I'm not trying to say I side one way or the other, I really don't
Yeah, well,
haven't thought about any of this.
I mean, that's a contract, I mean, that's 6 payments. Yeah.
Well, that's something we can look at
Yeah.
in the new contract. You know, I firmly, if there's something in there that, you know, the whole thing about it was no one knew what Bob was doing because he was talking to you, he would call Henry, he'd talk to me, so no one really knew, and all of a sudden we see a bill for $2,500, and what did he do for $2,500? That was the issue.
Yeah, but I think, you know, that's all corrected itself, so it was just, I don't know. I just thought it was, he's the only one we seem to hold back on, and
Well, I mean, I know that right now you're up for reelection, so we don't know if
Yeah,
you'll be, where you'll be in a week, a month, on the issue. But I think we're probably gonna need to have a work session on that contract anyway.
Yeah.
As I mean,
yeah, I mean, it comes up
Yeah.
May.
Yeah.
right, and
Yeah.
I know you guys have heard me say before, I'd personally like to see it in one calendar year, so all the money flows in a calendar year with our budget and everything.
It makes sense to me. I don't know who, did you guys, I don't know who changed that.
I think some of it progressively kept moving back in time because of revisions and stuff. I know one year revisions got made and it's like a whole month or whatever got lost
Yeah.
and back up till revisions.
I don't know when it got to May.
But, yeah, that's all stuff we could definitely take up
Yeah.
at a work session
I
and
agree.
get that contract looked at. We should actually do that pretty darn soon because that contract is coming up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
End of May.
yeah. When do you want to have one?
Probably after
After town meeting?
town meeting. My life's on hold until after town meeting. Yeah.
That's all I got right now, John.
Okay. Mike, what do you got?
I didn't bring, I forgot my list of, so I'm gonna probably just let go of most things here tonight. I would say, what was I thinking, we had something else we needed a work session for. But I think we probably should have a non-public, on a couple of things. There's a tax deed item in front of us that we should be looking at tonight. And I think we should probably be looking to schedule a non-public with our PD. And we could probably talk over some of that in non-public at the same time as the tax deed item. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it on that. Yeah, nothing's coming to mind right now. So.
Do you have the time for that non-public?
For discussion on where I think we need to talk to an outline for the PD, maybe we should do that tonight, as well as the, there's a tax deed item that the town clerk, tax collector has that she'd like us to review. I think we should do that tonight too. What do you know about that?
Yeah, yeah, I mean, not the one with the PD, maybe,
Well, I think we need.
whatever works for the chief.
Well, yeah, but I was thinking we might wanna outline what we need to
Oh, talk to him,
discuss.
yeah,
So that we can present that to them,
yeah, we can do that at the same time, tonight.
just because I think there might be some overlap into people and, you know, whoever's in situations are involved, and I don't think we need to stir that up. I do actually have a question for the Chief Burbank, our fire chief. You had a letter of concern in the folder on a property?
Yeah.
Yeah. That address is on Route 153?
No, correct.
North,
Right.
by the, that
I
one.
agree.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's, it, except for possibly, are we gonna work on, getting those
Yeah,
properties
we'll do that. right.
tonight? Yeah, we'll do a little work session afterwards to try and, do some coordination on the landfill monitoring addresses, for mailings, to find out who we need to contact.
Did you, we did get a letter that's gonna go out to the public.
Yes, that's right too. We do have a notification letter. Gave everybody a copy. We have it here. It should be in the office on the email too there, right, Chris? You have that.
Oh, look.
You should have it, but I think you should have it. But I've got copies here if you don't. I can't imagine you wouldn't. And it just basically outlines what they're giving us for initial dates, which I don't know if these might have to be changed because they're coming up so quickly. March 11th, 12th, 13th, and 15th for Easton Analytical to come in to do faucets and spigots, to get samples from people that own wells in the receptor survey area. And we're going to nail down, we've got a list of properties in the survey area. So we just have to discern which ones are occupied, would have wells versus just raw land, that kind of thing. So that's what we'll be working on tonight. And as soon as we have that list compiled, we'll be sending out the letters to the folks that could be affected in it. I think that's pretty much all there is to say on that.
Yes.
Is there something?
Yeah. No?
Yeah.
So that will be going out.
As soon as, I would think if we can nail that all down tonight, the office is theoretically closed tomorrow, so perhaps we can get those out Thursday. Potentially tomorrow, I don't know who we have on staff tomorrow.
Well, Claudia will be here tomorrow.
Is she?
Yep.
Yeah, should be safe.
Chris, are you here tomorrow?
No.
Okay.
Said she'd be in after she get up here, she planned on working.
And I don't know, did Tim leave, did he already?
Go on.
Yeah, okay, so I don't know if Tim will be here. Yep, we'll get those out as quickly as we can. Tomorrow or the next day, the latest. And if we, I don't know if anybody feels those dates need to be moved back, we could talk to a testing company to see what, that time frame. What do you guys have any concerns?
You know, the time frame is kind of rough. People work.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm a little.
You know, people work, I mean, and I know they don't work at, you know, I don't know if they'll work at nighttime, but I mean, you know, that's prime time for employment.
You know what I'll do, I've got a couple questions for, the company that we're dealing with, so
I mean, I understand all
I'll see if there's, an option for some later dates too, in case we have some scheduling, problems with folks in that area.
I mean, it would be great if, maybe possibly a Saturday, but I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Because the
only-
majority of the people, you wouldn't have to worry about changing the time, it's just a date. Maybe if they can come out, you know, people work. I mean, that's the problem I see, and
Yeah, and it's 9 to 3, so,
it's prime time,
yeah.
you know, I mean, if they can't, well, I guess
You could do an evening or
the
something,
sample count will be down,
a couple evenings, maybe.
you know? I just, you know, just to see what they have, you know, available, if they do that, you know?
Okay. Got it in here.
Yeah.
I think there's probably, a few new annual reports
Yeah.
floating around.
Yeah.
so.
Just because I'm sure it will come up so that there's a typo in Article 23. The 5 and the 0 are transposed. It's got the selectmen's recommended budget as 1,695,042. It should be 1,690,542.
What page are you on now, Rick?
Page 30 of this year's warrant, Article 23.
You know, a bunch of people, we looked through this, never saw it.
That's why you should have me look at it.
Well, you could have just jumped right in. You weren't excluding anybody who wanted to take a shot at this.
Article 23, the Board of Selectmen's recommended amount, a 5 and a 0 are transposed. It should be 1,690,542, not 1,695,0.
And you know that because you're looking at,
Because I knew that it wasn't a $5,000 difference between the two, so I went and looked through the MS 737 and looked at the bottom line.
that's what I'm looking for right now.
So it's 690?
It's 690,542. Yeah, the 5 and the 0 got flipped when it got typed, apparently. And the only other thing, just for your purposes, when it comes up for discussion, because it's the only one that didn't mention it, Article 11, no amount will come from taxation. All the other ones that's true of, it actually says it, but that one doesn't say it. That's the $10,000 to the town of Ossipee from the undesignated unassigned fund balance. All the others where the money's coming from the unassigned fund balance, it actually notes that no amount to be raised from taxation, but for some reason that doesn't say it.
Very good. See that on the sub
That's all I've got so far, but I haven't had a chance to really read through it.
You know, like I said, if you got here earlier, what's that, John?
Didn't we forget to pay them?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what that article's for.
but it's coming out of the general fund,
Yeah,
so it's not a raise in taxation. Thank you, sir.
Keep reading,
Yeah.
keep reading.
Don't worry, I'll be there on the 16th.
All right, could have used you on my first book report.
I had a girl like that in front of me in English class.
Thought you read these.
Got any old business?
No.
Any new stuff?
I guess I'm gonna throw Lenny under the bus real quick here. Not too hard, though.
Go for it.
The other night, candidates, like you said, we didn't get a lot done. I got a list of stuff here that I beg to differ.
Well,
I really, I mean, I got 3 pages of
I
what I didn't know.
would have liked to get more done.
Well, we got the CIP that's been solved for 18 years on the move. We got the library things going, moving there. We filed for grants at the Bailey Road. We got the Green Mountain Road project going and still moving forward. We did a ordinance for right-of-ways, and the list just goes on and on. We got the fire station, septic done, surveillance system stuff all in here. There's a bunch. We did stuff.
Yeah, probably more than I realized.
I think so. Like I said, that busted. So yeah, I don't have anything, Sean. What do you got? I'm good. You're good.
You don't have any public stuff?
Doesn't appear to be, and I would say that at some point we could stand to sit for a work session too and go through our rules of procedure as a board and revisit all the concerns about public comment and see if we can't manage it better and manage ourselves better with that whole process. But anyway, that's just a follow-up to concerns all around.
What do you got, Lenny? Nothing?
No, just non-public. That's it.
Hey, you got the,
How's it going, Dave?
No.
I thought somebody would mention the increase in the
I didn't want,
Please make
I
sure
don't think it's,
$2.98.
oh, yeah.
Actually, John, can I ask our budget committee chairman a question?
I can read the writer off.
Well, I had a question on some
You
process.
can, go ahead, go.
Yeah. Dave, I know you were hoping to look into something with those petition warrant articles at the school board. I know one of them is for the budget committee, and that's number 11, to install a budget committee. And number 12 is to cap the increases that can be made. Now, when I read that, to me, it was originally looking to cap at 2%. That got changed, so it's 25% of an increase in taxation from the year before, which I didn't really fully. Ed, you're shaking your head over there. Am I right, or?
You're correct, and it's also meaningless now at 25%.
Well, is it 25% as in a whole of 25%, or is that 25% of an increase from the following year, which would be a very small amount? It's 25% of all of the taxation,
Yeah.
which is ridiculous.
No one,
Okay, enough said. All
I
right.
saw you at the commissioners meeting.
All righty then.
Well,
John, you want me to give a dump on that school thing?
go
You know,
ahead.
I think, is it,
You?
Is it
yeah, but
hurt?
where is our school board member? Maybe we should get some input
You
from,
left.
well, he's in at-large. The
He's
town-
at large, he's not Effingham.
The town, Effingham has a school board member. Maybe we could get that person to come in and explain some of this. I'm getting a head shake no. But
I'm off camera. The school board members know that they cannot show separately and give reports or talk
Oh.
for the school board.
Okay.
We already went through this in Brookfield.
Okay. Questions
So-
been asked and answered.
So
Thank you, Mr.
your
Comeau.
representative can't come to the town and talk about it?
No, they expect you to go to the school board meeting and ask those questions
Gotcha.
as a whole.
So would you like me to give a dump on the school? Because I'm not a school board member.
Because what?
Because I'm not a school board member.
Okay, well, you can if you want. Yeah.
And
Ed
the
shaking
budget
his head,
committee,
yeah, let him go for it.
the budget committee at the end of the year, in January, expected a 49-cent increase by the school. The deliberative session was on 2/2. I have since found out, because I'm doing some digging after I started looking, that slideshow had the 49 cents in it. After the session was done, the school was notified by someone that there was incorrect data in a slideshow. They went back and run the numbers, and Effingham now has a $2.98 increase, and Ossipee is minus. So we will be seeing, instead of a 49-cent increase, a $2.98 increase. Now, the letter that got sent to the town was an email instead of a call, which it would have been nice if we had known that, but I still think that it was too late in the budget session for us to do anything, because it was into February, we're already signing the MS 737. So I don't think that we could have changed anything that we did, regardless of the fact of if the school business office had actually notified our representatives or the at-large representative. They might not even known it at that time. It would have been nice if at least they came to the select board and notified them that you have a change from 49 cents to $2.98. I mean, I would think that's something the town wants to know. I mean, especially before our town meeting. I found this out Saturday when the mailer came to my house. And I scrubbed it, went through all the numbers, and I'm going, something's wrong here. It's supposed to be 49 cents. I get hold of Kathy, who's the superintendent. She comes back, she goes, no, there was an error found after the deliberative session. So now we're on the hook for police, fire, and library, comparable increase for those three departments. You might as well say they took away all our money. I mean, it's amazing.
Well, you
And
know,
we had a 25 to 32 student increase
right.
is the reason for that rise in our tax rate.
Yeah, that's right.
And
And the 4% reduction.
and the way
by the state.
the way the state does that, and the school is, they go back 2 years. The 2017 and 18, we went up to 187, roughly, right in there. You know, they have a few numbers on and off, estimated and actual. And the year prior to that, we had 161. So that was the increases that we ended up seeing. So what we're going to see on the next one, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure what we have for enrollment.
I think we have 202. When I looked through the latest reviews of them, I counted 202. So
So
that's the same
it's
number
pretty,
again, 25.
pretty nerve-wracking to see that 25 kids can affect us about $480,000.
Not 25, 15 more.
It's 25 to 32, 32 kid raise is what they actually had in the numbers.
Well, you know, as far as, you know, it sure would be, it's never going to be nice to hear that kind of an increase coming, but for the effect on our town, we're really not throwing money around, so I don't know how you
Well, the effect on our
adjust
town,
to
the
that.
effect on our
Can't-
town is, right now, currently we stand at $210,000 of non-claimed taxes. People are in arrears. That's $1.30 something we're holding in our tax rate to pay people who can't pay the taxes. Effingham is sitting at, right now, just so you have the numbers, out of 237 towns in New Hampshire, for revenue generate, how much you make in revenue, we're 210. That's how low revenue is in this town. And unless something changes drastically, the school is going to continue to cause us to go up and down each time we have 10 children change in our town. If we have 10 go out, we're going to see a big drop.
So let me ask you this, Dave. Apparently you attended the session. I was not able to. Why is the school board voting to not recommend the budget committee? Was there any explanation to, I mean, it seems like a really practical thing to have. Is there any kind of rationale that was put forward?
No, I wasn't able to attend that
Oh, you
session.
weren't?
Ed can probably give, I know what I was told, but Ed could probably.
I can
give
tell you what was said at the public hearing that was held at the Effingham Elementary School. Their reasoning was that the people who know the school district and how it operates and what's needed in the various departments and so forth best is the school board. And that if you had a separate budget committee, those people wouldn't be, because they're not, you know, the school board is involved in every aspect of running the district, much like the selectmen are involved in every aspect of running the town. So their rationale is that the school board has a better handle on what's needed in various departments and all of that, and that having a separate budget committee where a lot of that information can't be provided to someone who isn't on the school board because of, you know, non-public privacy type issues is the vibe I get, that basically these budget committee people wouldn't understand why this department needs that much and this department needs this much. And so that the best practice is to have the control over the budget rest with the people who know the workings of the district best. By that rationale, what do we need a budget committee for in Effingham? Just let the selectmen set the budget. I mean, that's essentially what they're saying, is that let your executive board, your executive division set your budget.
And that's what you feel they put forward as a rationale?
That was what they said, was that the school board knows the district best, so we should set the budget.
Well,
We
I
don't
guess-
need a budget.
I guess we'll find out what the voters think.
You know, but the problem is the way that the article was altered at the deliberative session, it's been made advisory only,
Oh.
so it has no authority, unlike a budget committee in Effingham, which the budget committee's budget is the budget that goes to the state. It was reduced from 9 people to 5. Instead of the appointments being made initially by the moderator and then elected by the voters, it was made appointed by the school board for 1 year with the
Okay,
school
we got
board
it. We
making
got
the
it. Time to
decision on whether or
succeed,
not
huh?
it should be renewed after that 1 year. In other words, all of the authority over it was dumped right back into the school board. So it's essentially been made. I mean, if 5 people want to get together once a week during budget season over in Wolfboro and hem and haw over something that's going to make no difference, fine, let them. But yeah, it's pointless at this point.
Okay.
I mean, the woman who petitioned for it stood up at the hearing and said, as it stands right now, I'm not going to vote for it because it's worthless. She said the same thing about the tax cap, that as it stands right now, she wasn't going to vote for it because it's got no teeth anymore. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do what the intent of putting in the petition was.
So I guess now it's down to voting for who you want on the school board.
Pretty much.
So, okay.
It is indeed.
Thank you.
Yeah, well,
everyone.
what point is that? You can't come here and talk anyway. It's like us having a meeting and we're all Skyping.
Well, you gotta elect new school board members then, I guess, if
But
you wanna
it's still,
change.
they can't, Ed said they can't work
Well,
on their
not
own.
individually, but as a
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not running for school board, so.
I don't know if you have, I have to be on a list or something to talk, right?
Yeah, typically, but I guess if we're on topic, we kinda let this
So
one.
change the rule for me, not everybody.
Well, that's, if you're on
That's
this
up to you.
subject, I don't know, we kinda
I
let,
believe
I rate.
you,
I think this is important information.
no, but I believe that you can speak if,
It's on the agenda item.
on, yes,
Oh, okay.
but
Okay, I just wanted to say, I don't know how everything spins out of control or everything.
Wait.
You're off camera, once you
wait
move
a
it a little
second,
bit. Okay.
can I give this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Now, you'll notice that that was signed by Lawrence Edwards,
Yeah.
and it states, unless it was updated, the point that you were making for non-public comment is illegal.
I don't know what's illegal, but
Because it should be posted on the website. The Effingham website, that's where we got that off of, and it should be updated with the new rules of procedure.
well, you know,
I think it-
and that could
Wait,
happen.
We're rolling off the topic here.
Yeah.
Let's stick with the school first. Okay.
One major thing I noticed in this whole area is protection of the status quo. That's what I seem to be up against all the time. This elected budget committee idea and the tax cap was a positive thing. It wasn't, they made it, there are newspaper articles that make it sound like everybody was going after the school board. That was never the intent. To actually have an elected budget committee could showcase how much work the school board has to do, and could have helped them in the whole process and given us better representation on more people getting involved in it. The tax cap, the same thing. I don't know how this spun out of control to be something negative, but democracy worked. We put a petition warrant article in, 185 people total, approximately, signed in. Only, I think, 3 people showed up at that deliberative session. Now, I understand that because this can be very frustrating. How many years have we gone through this where the taxes just keep going up? They don't seem to listen, apparently, and they don't listen. And there's very little explanations, there's mistakes, etc. So I don't know how it turned into something like this. It should have been a positive thing. But people were frustrated, so they stayed home, as they usually do. The people who showed up are all the employees and the family members in Wolfboro and Tuftonboro. The people in the property poor towns, and I don't like to use that term, but the property poor towns, they didn't show up because of the frustration of the whole idea. But if they had, there would have been enough people there to keep that elected budget committee warrant article in place, so we could have voted in the ballot box, in the ballot booth, what we wanted. But it didn't happen. I'm not giving up. So if it goes in again, you have to show up at that deliberative session. They had the numbers. This is how it works. That's why that happened. Now, you read in a newspaper article recently that I, as a state rep, should just fund the school over and over again. And I said, in order to fund the school, you have to appropriate money, and if you do that, it's got to come from somewhere. They are down in Concord now, the other party opposite of me, and they are putting in bill after bill after bill after bill, raising taxes, raising taxes, raising taxes. And this isn't a political speech. That is what they're doing, because the state is starving for money. They appropriated $40 million, and it passed the House to fund the portion of the retirement system that the state's not paying back to the towns. Where do you think the $40 million is coming from? It's coming from other areas.
Wait a second, when you're touching on that, now I saw something where the state was going to, they're asking the state to put in 15%. Now we're presently paying for that either way. So no matter which way you slice that pie, we pay for the retirement. Is that correct?
Correct, and the legislature did that because they felt by controlling the costs at the state level was useless. It was worthless to control that cost. So the idea of the legislature at the time, this is what I was told, was to keep it at the local level. That way you have control over the costs. Right or wrong, that's what they thought. All I'm saying is, in order for the state, since there has to be a balanced budget, you have to come up with the money somewhere. It just doesn't get printed up. So I think they're being disingenuous by just saying that the legislature should just appropriate the money and we should do it. We have all kinds of things, and you're going to hear about more of the financial issues the state is having. So there's a lot of other things that have to be funded. You mentioned
Bridges.
Funding the bridges. Well, all this money has to come from somewhere. And the resident of Ossipee that showed up at the hearing for the tax cap told me that I should just fund it. And when I said the funding is going to come from fees and other taxes, and she said, okay, that's fine. It's got to be done. It doesn't matter. How much are you paying for who has a pickup truck in here? How much does that cost to register? You think that's going to stay that way? No, they're already after that. They're after raising the gas tax and a lot of the other taxes. And they're going after everything, cigars, cigarettes. But now they have the holy grail, which is the marijuana issue, so now they're hoping they're going to reap a bunch of benefits from that. So all I'm saying is this should have been a positive thing. Democracy did work. No one showed up at the deliberative session. I'm not giving up, and hopefully next time people will know they need to show up at the meetings. They have finance committee meetings. Now, mind you, I did discover they weren't taking any minutes for the finance committee meeting, so we don't know what happened in it. But they're having those meetings now. Not now, they're having the meetings and taking minutes. So people have to show up at those financial meetings, because this is where you'd be able to give, a direct effect on what they're doing is during those meetings to help them, because it is only a small group of people dealing with $52 million. That's why I was hoping that the budget committee would be a good thing, because I noticed that all the budget committee, the towns that have budget committees were willing to jump right in. And even if it was advisory only, I think that's a good start, because I know people that would want to jump on it anyway, even if it's advisory only. So it was supposed to be a positive thing. It didn't turn out that way, but protection of the status quo seems to be what's running the area. So we have to break through that and try something new for once.
Thanks, Seth.
All right, now I think I'm done.
Well, Joey handed me this, we'll look at this
Yeah.
at another time.
Well, like I said earlier, I think we certainly could go through and amend those or see if adherence to the rules of order, that's what Mr. Jenny presented for this board. We can certainly look into those. And I look back at the history in the past and not in recent history. That document has been stomped over with quite a bit of regularity, so I don't think we're the worst infractors. So. Something new.
Dave, have anything else to add to the school tax except write the check?
All of us are like it.
Well, the only good news I heard was it's 52, because I was under the impression it was 54.
Yeah, I thought it was 54. I'll go with that.
And I thought truck registration was 175, and I heard people are paying even more, so
Yeah.
I apologize for the error.
Well,
Well, I don't feel bad, mine's 107.
as a state rep, I'm sure you're aware of their going, and rightfully so, going after the vehicles that don't use gas on registrations and such. Pay more on your registration because you can't get the gas tax. You're gonna get that money from it.
Well, I got the number 54, 678, 573.
54.
678, 550,
So if the way I round up, so that's closer
It's
to
close
50.
enough, it's a lot.
It's closer to 55. Wait till next year. It will be that done. So.
Should
All right.
Should I formally should I formally create some type of an edict where it would be 52 million? I'm joking.
You were talking last year.
Have some more water.
All right, John, you had the ball. Are we?
We're gonna go into non-public, we're gonna continue, and we'll come out and recess our selectmen's meeting. We're gonna go into 91A-3, 2C. And we're going for the PD as well, right?
Yeah. So we've got an
Yeah.
employee component
And we have, gonna go also, it's gonna, another one, RSA 91-A:3, 2A. All in favor?
Roll call.
Roll call. Is it Lenny Espie?
Aye.
Mike Cahalane?
Aye.
John Meisner, aye. Okay. There we go. All right, thank you all for coming.
This is a sea of happy faces out.